you hit the college basketball scene right when ESPN's getting, broadcasting all these games, Dickie V's at all these games. And so you this is late 80s. The excitement is there. The TV is there. And you play number one UNLV. You get into the SEC. People don't realize Alabama's top 20, LSU, Shaq's top 20. Kentucky, obviously.
Florida had a good team.
So what was going back and thinking about playing in Barnhill? Did you feel that hype nationally around what you guys were doing?
Yeah, we did. By the time we became the end of our sophomore season, we made it to the Final Four. We were just tired of people saying, the conference is weak, we don't play anybody, that kind of thing. We knew that we could compete with anybody. We just wanted to be put on that stage. Dominated the South. We swept through Texas, just anywhere that was down south, we just swept through them. And, we were so excited to get in the SEC my senior year. I mean, we just didn't know what to do. We were just so excited to be able to play guys like Robert Horry, Shaq, Spreewell, Jamal Mashburn, all these great players that we knew and seen at all the basketball camps, but were not able to play them. We always talked stuff about what Arkansas would do when we played these teams. But, being from the small South, we never had a chance. So my era, my guys, we feel like that, we didn't put Arkansas on the map, but we put them back on the map.
that Final Four, what do you remember from the Final Four that you guys won? And you probably, you know how one and done tournaments are in March Madness. Obviously,
I remember being up, 7 to 8 points with 10 minutes left and not finishing the game. That's really the only thing that I can remember, from that game. I know I had a good game, but, nobody remembers how good you play when you lose.
Right.
So that's the only thing that I remember is I really, really wanted to get out of that press. Really was tearing us up. And, no coach, he's going to stick to his guns to the end.
So then you move on, get drafted. What was your funnest season you had in the NBA?
Funnest probably would be my second year in the league. We had got Big Dog Robinson. And,
Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, and I was with Lee, my best friend in the world. We stayed next door to each other. Man, we just had a bunch of young cats just going out and balling, just trying our best to put the city on the map. Even though I think we came up like 1 or 2 games short of the playoffs. But that season, I can just remember how much fun we had. We had all 2 or 3 year players. We had like 2 veteran guys on the whole team. So it was just a bunch of young guys who just enjoyed each other on and off the court, which probably cost us a lot of games.
How do you get into something in Milwaukee, man? I thought it was
man, when you're
cold,
22 years old with millions of dollars in your bank account, man, you can find something.
There's always something happening. What was it that separated Lee Mayberry? Obviously, he's greatest to play the position. I'm sure a lot of people would argue, want to get into discussion for a Razorbacks uniform. But what separated him and made him so great?
Man, his unselfishness. Lee probably is the most unselfish guy I've ever played with. The guy has like 7 or 8 brothers. He shares everything, and he has like 5 grandkids now. Like he's just the most sharing guy that I've ever been around. He always looks out for the next person, man. And everybody will tell you that about Lee. And he's just a great teammate, a great friend. I've never met anybody that doesn't like Lee Mayberry.
Yeah. It's never about Lee. It's always about, when you're around him, he's always trying to do something.
It's always about somebody else, man. Like I said, his selflessness, it's impeccable.
Yeah.
The guy could take over a ball game whenever he wanted, but he would always refer to myself or Ron Erie or somebody else. But the one thing about that guy, he was always there when we needed him. Having a good game, Big O was off. Man, he would always step up and pull us through, and he was one of those guys that you always could depend on.
A lot of people don't know. You tied Larry Bird's record when you were with the Celtics in 95,
Yep.
96. You tied Larry Bird's record. Was it 24 in one quarter?
Mm-hmm.
24, I think he had 42 for the game. What do you remember about that game?
Two things I remember. One is I was being guarded by a rookie named Kevin Garnett. I torched him all night. When I ended up playing with Minnesota, we used to joke about that all the time. And the second thing I remember is they took me out with like almost 2 minutes left in the quarter. And I was, kind of puzzled. They was like, man, you can't break Larry Bird's record. You can tie it, but we can't let you break it. At the time, I thought it was funny and everything, but looking back on it, I think it was a bunch of crap. The game, I could have put myself in the record book. But, they was not having that in Boston.
Somebody made the call down like, hey, he's getting close.
The thing is, they were bold enough to tell me, like, you're not going to break this record. Like, we're not going to let you do it. So it wasn't, well, you had enough, you played well, resting you. It was nothing like that. It was like, you're not going to break this record.
That's fine. Who's the coach then? Jimmy Rogers?
ML Carr.
ML Carr, my man.
The towel man.